searching for light. We reach for the stars.
Sing it loud, you feel it in the air. Get ready for this, you know how we do it. Sing it loud, you feel it in the air.
What's the deal? You nervous? Are you excited?
I'm very excited. Yeah. My name is Odette Annable, and I am an actress. I don't think Tyler will recognize me at all, but if he does, it would maybe be from Supergirl.
The Unborn,
House.
October Road,
Sure.
House.
He should be my publicist.
I should be. She's
Keep going.
fantastic. I mean it.
You're my only fan. I love you for it.
Well, thank you. Excuse me. You're my light. You know, I just think it's going to be so rad to have him in the house. Dave Annable, I'm an actor. He might recognize me from Brothers and Sisters.
Red Band Society.
Red Band Society, maybe a little Yellowstone. So, like, what do we call him?
What do you want to call him? Sir? Tyler. That's his
Tyler?
name.
Like-
Your Highness?
I don't know. It's a gift.
Or he's the
Yeah. I'm certainly the crier. So this could get out of hand.
Hi, how's it going, Tyler?
Hi.
How's
Welcome
it going?
to our home. So nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you both.
nice to
Oh my
meet you.
gosh.
I've never had a reading before. I've kind of saved myself for Tyler. Hey, I think I'm looking for some clarity and, you know, just to...
On whether I'm the right guy for you, is that what
You
look
never know.
for?
You never know what I'm gonna ask. Just be ready.
Yeah. Oh, God. I'm sure your next husband's handsome. Does this mean keep talking? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Here we are.
Here we are.
It's wonderful to meet you both. I didn't catch your name. So
Odette.
Odette?
Yes.
Fabulous.
Dave.
Dave.
Very nice to meet you.
Wonderful to meet you both.
Tyler.
Yes.
I assume, huh?
Yes,
Ah,
you saw it coming. Well, it's wonderful to meet you both, sincerely.
Thank you.
So the way that I work is I have my notepad here and I have my pen, and you'll see me throughout the duration of this basically just scribble. Okay. Connected to you, for some reason, I have this male energy that I first have to bring forward that's coming in. And what I can tell when I'm connecting with him is he doesn't feel super young, but he's kind of too young to go, is the way I would describe it. It's heavy, this one. He's showing me putting a phone down and it's symbolic. But from his perspective, he feels like he didn't contact, didn't reach out, didn't like basically tie the loose end there and talk to certain people. And so people would have been left wondering, well, why didn't he reach out? Why wasn't he there? Why didn't he communicate? And that was what was so painful, because then he died. And people were like, why couldn't you have made amends before this? And he's basically acknowledging, he's pointing up here to me. And when they do that, that's always their way of saying, I was preoccupied. Wow. It's kind of weird to say and probably doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it makes sense to me. Yeah, my friend's name was Johnny, and we met on a TV show that we did. He was a really, really special part of my life. There were a series of events that sort of led to what happened towards the end. It shouldn't have happened the way that it happened. It was a shock, so tragic. I don't know if it was an accident or if it was something that was self-induced. I don't know if I feel so comfortable talking about exactly how it happened, but I was never able to say goodbye, and I never sent a letter that I should have sent, and I have incredible guilt about that. And I never got a resolve. So.
What I was so surprised by was how much he acknowledged kind of pushing people away, because that wasn't his personality.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
absolutely right.
You know, in order to send a letter, you have to have someone to receive the letter. And I don't even know if he would have been ready to receive it. So, they don't want us to hold on to that guilt. And from where he's at, he has a much clearer perspective now. And I think he can see that for what it is.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better.
So, I hope that gives some comfort.
Absolutely. That's, I wasn't even going to bring that up at all in this. And I'm so happy that that's the first thing that you brought up. I feel so much relief. I feel like a weight has been lifted off of me, and I'm so eternally grateful because, Dave, you know, that's been on my mind for years and years and years, and I'm so happy. I said that I wasn't gonna cry.
No. It's all good.
You were the crier.
I am the crier.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Okay, give me one sec. They're bringing me, I think I'm to your side of family. There, give me one sec. Ah, okay. There is like the lumber thing or I don't know what this is. I'm smelling sawdust. It's very much working with my hands. I'm smelling sawdust.
That does mean something to me.
They're bringing me to East Coast, but they're actually going more northern East Coast. Where are you originally from?
I'm from New York.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
So,
My grandfather was a framer. He built houses, so I don't know
Fabulous.
if that's...
I feel like I'm talking about lungs. Any like the fluid buildup connected to that side?
I know he was swollen, like there was
Gotcha.
fluid, like.
Who's the woman on that side? They're bringing up the female who would have had cognizance problems. So like at the very end would have started losing her ability and it's frustrating for her because she's such a sweet personality. So like it's like,
Yeah,
I want to be
yeah.
able to
So-
talk and communicate and she just wasn't able to.
My grandmother, yeah, she started to, sort of deteriorate, I guess, towards the end, mentally.
Both are basically acknowledging they don't want to be remembered for these things.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
That's not what they want us to hold on to.
That's very much them.
And they acknowledge that there's so much more than what they went through, and that's huge. So much of the energy that's going on presently is just focusing on like children, babies. A lot of energy is being put around that. So
Wow,
this is
that
good too
was
much.
something that I wanted to talk to you about.
The way this comes through, they are bringing up helping bring babies into the world, and for some reason they keep acknowledging this whole emphasis on like miracle baby, and it keeps coming through. And they're showing me a baby monitor weirdly, and there's a scene from Insidious where the thing goes in the baby monitor. They're showing me that, but like jokingly.
Wow.
So, a week after my grandmother passed, there's a white orb floating above
Wow.
my daughter, and I whisper Nana in my room where she can't hear me, and then my daughter answers and says Nana.
I have a full chills. Oh my God.
So yeah, there's a baby monitor.
Yes, so
Yeah,
it makes sense. What an interesting video, too. You can so clearly see it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
like no question about it.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah.
She was away, and it was just Papa Bear, and I was
Yeah.
going, I was kind of freaking out
Right.
at first, and then, sort of settled in, and then, I had the idea that it was my grandmother, and then, for her to say it, she can't, my daughter can't hear me, she wasn't talking at the time.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, that was a week after she passed, and it was that one night.
Yeah, that was really
And all
special.
night. My grandmother and Charlie, our daughter, had a very special relationship.
She was in hospice and Charlie kept wanting to go into her room and hold her hand.
My daughter would just keep saying Nana over and over again. And my grandmother, this is sort of the end for her, and she wasn't talking at all, but she just kept saying baby, 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 and that was the last thing that she said was baby. And so a week later to see the orb floating around on the baby monitor was everything.
That makes me feel comforted to know that it's our people.
Definitely. We'll take all the help we can get.
Yeah.
Always.
Definitely. So on that note, I'm going to try to focus on some of these objects. I'm going to kind of hold each one. I'll be very careful, and we'll see what happens. I'm just going to do that real quick. Just scribble there, and then I'm going to grab this. Okay. Do you know where the 6 kids are on that side?
Oh my gosh.
Is it this one?
Whoa.
That would be
Whoa.
6.
Woo! Whoa.
Wow.
That would be the 6.
Whoa.
Okay, so they're having me acknowledge them. Okay, so the deal is I have a man, so he comes across just wanting to make sure everyone else is good, and when everyone else is good, then he can be good. It's almost like he's checking out on people, so that's the kind of energy he brings. He's like, I knew more than I let on, and he feels like this was from a place of protection, not a place of wanting to keep people out of the loop, but the feeling was like, I'm doing this for their sake. He just was wanting to be protective. And that's the message. So, does that make sense?
So much like him.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
My grandfather, Rigo, who I was probably the closest to, who has passed on. But he was, the head of the family. I just got chills. That's so insane. My abuelo Rigo, that's my grandfather, I was very, very, very close with him. I was raised on his farm, getting the eggs in the morning and sitting on, the porch in the rocking chair and just having conversations with him. I think I'll never stop learning from him.
One sec. Dad. They're basically having me talk about Dad and relationship with Dad. And they're putting you right here and him right here. And when they do that, it can sometimes indicate distance or like not being super close. But then I am, for some reason, seeing this happening, like this, like reconciliation, working things out. But within reason and with healthy boundaries and with agreed upon communication and all of that. They're putting a thumbs up around this, and there's a pride around you being able to put effort from this. So you taking the initiative and you not just dropping it all together. Your family is proud of the work you've done to maintain that relationship with Dad, whatever that may be. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Gotcha. I have to be kind of careful with my words sometimes.
No, definitely. And we do have, my father and I have a really great relationship, but we're very similar in certain ways, wouldn't you say? We both have a temper. I mean, I'm usually perfect, but...
I feel like I'm being put in a lose-lose here. I mean, I love my father-in-law, and I love my wife.
But we've had our moments.
There's a feeling of you putting in work and it being great and you showing patience.
That's so validating.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway from my grandfather is that he's still around and that his presence is still very much, around all of us and blessing us and protecting us. And although I felt that, I think having that confirmation today has really helped me move forward.
I'm so glad that we got to do this.
You're the best.
Yeah, thank you,
so
buddy.
much
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Absolutely, guys.
Thank you so much.
To hear that my grandmother, my grandfather, your grandfather, and Johnny, that they're still watching us and protecting us, it means the world. It's protection. That was a truly wonderful experience.
I would love
Thank
to come
you for
back.
making this
Hey,
experience
anytime,
so
bro.
wonderful.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I'm glad I was your first.
She told me I was her first. That's the problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a fabulous rest
You
of your
too,
day.
you too.
Thank you, my friend.
Bye. That was incredible. And what I needed.
Yeah.
I do. I really do have the weirdest job in the world. It's like a genealogist, and a medium, and therapist all at the same time. Just like all the pieces of information that come through, so intense, even with just one person. But when you have two people, you're dealing with totally different sides of family, both trying to come through at the same time, and often conflicting when they're trying to come through. Not intentionally, they're not beating each other up on the other side, but they're having to kind of fight for airtime, quite literally. And that can make a challenge to read.